Hey everyone, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Desiree.
And we're bringing you this week's Rising Tide West Coast Swing Guide.
This week on the guide, we are conquering spins once again in our series, and we're taking it back to basics. We're focusing now on the follower's role with inside turns. We're going to demo a basic left side pass with an inside turn, and then break down the mechanics of how to lead and follow this beautifully. Check it out.
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Breaking this down for our leaders. You'll notice we're starting with a standard left to right hand hold. The really hard part about this inside turn is happening on counts 1 and 2. So by count 2, I want to make sure that my hand is lifted to roughly the follower's forehead height. This will change based on whichever follower I'm dancing with. And I'm also creating a little bit of rotation outwards. I'm doing that really with my body, not just by sending my hand. And I really want to make sure that as I'm doing this, I'm continuing to progress my follower down line. So oftentimes we'll see newer leaders make these preps really horizontal across the slot. That's not telling the followers where to go. We want to think about keeping these preps really linear and coming from the body. From here, counts 3 and 4, I'm thinking about drawing a circle with my hand, with my fingers pointed down, that's roughly the diameter of the follower's shoulders. 3 and 4, 5 and 6. If we make that circle too narrow, it really throws off the follower's axis and their balance, and it feels like you're trying to spin a pencil versus trying to spin a top.
So for our followers, 1 and 2 are important parts as well. 3 and 4 is really where we get into the spin, and then for a single inside turn, 5 and 6 is where we fill that space back through the quality of the anchor. So the first thing I want to do is talk about rotation in West Coast Swing. We can rotate by spinning, which we'll be doing later, but we can also rotate inside and outside of our own frame as followers. We can be square to a leader, we can over-rotate, where we open up away from our frame, or we can turn inside our frame and under-rotate. On count 1, we're being led straight forward, and we're going to take that step, with a little bit of a delayed rate of weight transfer onto the 1, but we're not going to be over or under-rotated. On count 2, as the leader brings the hand up to forehead height, watch what I do. I under-rotate, or I rotate inside to my own frame. What this is going to accomplish, if you can see on my right side, instead of keeping my right side back and away from leader, that's going to create a little bit more elasticity in our connection, which will allow us to use this preparation for an unwind, right? So we're going to prep and wind and then unwind. On counts 3, and I'm going to be facing a wall, another wall, keeping my feet underneath of me, not reaching out, but really keeping feet close underneath. And on count 4, I'm going to find my leader again. After count 4, 5, and 6, I'll fill that space back. So if I show it all the way through, I'm thinking under rotate, wall, wall, find my leader, fill the space back. Regular, under rotate, wall, wall, find my leader, fill the space back.
That was your guide. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You can check us out online at mattdaviswing.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter as Rising Tide Swing Dance Studio.
Bye.